Hi there, welcome to another painting tutorial. In this video, I'm going to show you how to paint a reindeer with acrylics. So let's get started. And I want to start with a round brush. I'm going to grab a size 10 round brush. And I have this dark gray color. It's kind of has a little bit of a brown tint to it. And I want to paint in the antlers. And I'm going to spray the paper and then see if I can put in these antlers fairly quickly. And I would recommend that you kind of turn your paper as you need to, just to get the right angle to make it a little bit easier for you. Just use that tip of the paintbrush to help you get into those little corners at the tips. And this is an area where you can kind of take your time and just try to make nice, neat brush strokes. Okay, and the antlers are not going to be a focal point, so we're not going to put a lot of detail into them. And we might even just do one layer here. So just make everything as clean as you can, but don't really concentrate too much on making them look too precise or too finished, because we really want the eye to move to the focal point of the piece, which is going to be the eye of the reindeer. Okay, and then I'm going to take a size 0 spotter and some black paint, and I want to carefully paint in the eye. Need a little water, just trying to get the right consistency. Okay, and you can kind of see this interesting shape that the eye has, kind of a teardrop. And then let's do this part of the mouth. Try not to make it curve too much. You don't want it to look like he's really smiling, because then he can look a little bit crazy. Or if you wanted to, you could make him smile. That's a personal choice, I guess. And then I'm going to paint inside the ear. That black. Okay, and I might make this line kind of black. And then I might put a black underneath the ear, kind of line that ear at the bottom a little bit. Okay, and then I want that to dry. And once that's dry, we're going to move to a light shade of gray, and I'm going to take a large filbert. I have a size 9. And we're going to put our base color in, or our wash. For that, I'm going to take a little bit of titanium white and mix it with some gray that's kind of a pre-mixed gray, and then get quite a bit of water to turn it into a wash. And then let's see if we can put that down over the reindeer. And I want these bottom strokes right here to be kind of loose and impressionistic. So So don't do too many layers on that area. And just kind of make the brush strokes nice and loose and feathery. Okay, let's see if that black has dried. Just carefully go around it. And you just want to use a nice light color for this part. Don't want it to be too dark. I'm going to try to carefully go around the eye and not cover that. Okay, so now we can add some shadow. So I'm going to stick with this brush, the 9 filbert, and I'm going to take a little bit of a darker gray shade and see if I can add some shadows. So I'm just using the edge of the brush, putting in just some darker values. Don't want to do too much or too many. I want this part up here to be darker. And I'm covering up that black paint, and that's fine. It's going to show through underneath. So I'm just kind of going over where I think the shadows need to be, the darker values. Okay, I think under here. And if there's an area that you want to be a little bit darker, like maybe underneath the chin, in certain areas, go ahead and just use a darker value gray. Or if you're just using white paint, add some black into that. Okay, so then you want to let that dry completely, and then we'll move to the next step. All right, so let's take our size 0 spotter, get a little bit of white paint, and add that little highlight in the eye. So I'm just going to do a small little dot. And then I'm going to take some of that paint off and then see if I can do kind of a C shape for the iris. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of this white paint and I'm going to go over the eye. And then I'm going to go under the eye. Okay, I'm going to take some black and put a little eyelid line carefully. And I might do one underneath. Okay, so now I'm going to add a little bit of a highlight to the nose with some white. So we kind of already made a little bit of a highlight. So I like the way that looked, so I'm just going to enhance it a little bit. And then maybe blend that out. Okay, So now let's take some white paint. So I'm going to take a size 6 filbert. And I want to kind of build up some of the white, the lightest values. So I'm going to go over here. Just kind of do a curve that sort of goes up. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but kind of go underneath the eye. And then from here, and go down. Try to make some clean brush strokes here. And then I might put some around the underneath the mouth and around the nose. I could put a little bit here in between the brow, kind of come down. Okay, and then I want a larger filbert, so I'll grab the size 9, take some white paint. I'm going to go around that ear, kind of using the edge of the brush to do that. I'm going to make a little bit of a circle or a kind of a curved shape around the ear. Then I want to make some nice big strokes for kind of to make it look like the hair or the fur. So just kind of go in the direction of some of those other lines that you made. Just kind of making it look like fur. Then try not to do too much. You don't want to overdo it. Okay, I'm just emphasizing this highlight. Okay, and then I would probably let that layer dry. And once that dries, we could take kind of a tan and mix it with a little bit of brown. And then add some water to get a little bit of a glaze. And then I just want to add this to kind of different areas of the painting. I don't want to do too much. Maybe in some of these transition areas we could add this nice glaze and it kind of warms things up a little bit. Try to go around the eye. Then you could maybe add a little bit to the antlers. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of the darker gray and I just want to put some dark value back here for the muzzle. And I'm going to take a dark brown, a Vandyke Brown, just add a little bit more of a darker value to some of the antlers at the top of the head. Okay, and I might bring a little bit of brown down here. Okay, I'm glazing over some of that white fur. And I'm actually just want to kind of glaze over the rest of that to blend it in a little bit. Okay, and then I'll just add some final highlights here. So I might take some white paint. While it's still wet, I can feather in some of this white. Maybe put a little bit more on the muzzle. kind of reinstate the eyelid. And then I could add a little bit more over here just for a few highlights. Okay, so we will call this complete. I hope you get to paint along. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you want to see more, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!